Today we are going to learn two methods of drafting a basic sleeve pattern, and each of the method we are going to use it for two different sleeve, which is the long sleeve and the short sleeve. The first thing is to get your pattern paper ready, just like this one here. We are going to start with the first method out of two, and that's one we are going to be using it to draft a long sleeve. So you're going to draw a margin line at the top and also at the end here, and you're also going to divide this pattern into two. Just find the midpoint of your pattern paper because we needed equal measurements on both sides. So I already went ahead to draw the lines at the top and also the middle line. So then after that, I'm going to measure to my elbow line, to my sleeve length, and also to the biceps. So determine how many inches you want to use for your bicep. This depends on the type of sleeve you want to make. For a basic sleeve, it is always between 4 to 5 inches. But if you are making a jacket sleeve, or you are going to be using about 6 to 7 inches. And the lower your bicep, the lesser you can raise your hand. So if the bicep is too low, you won't be able to raise your hand very well, just like the jacket sleeve. So for this one, I'm going to maintain 4 inches. Then measure to 4 inches and connect with a straight line. After that, I'm going to measure and connect the elbow line. And after the elbow line, I'm going to measure and connect the sleeve length. On this bicep line, now we're going to take our upper arm circumference, that is the widest part of your arm. You're going to divide the measurement into two, and you take half of it on both sides of this line. After this, you're going to connect these 3 points together. All right, so you just connect with a straight line. Before that, we're going to take the elbow circumference measurements as well, and we're going to divide into two. Now let's come back to this place and connect like so. So you're going to connect with a straight line, and after connecting, we're going to be creating or plotting the armhole rather. The first thing you want to do is to decide on where to be the front and to be the back. You know that our basic bodies, we do not have the same armhole for both the front and the back. All right, so after this, now we're going to divide this line into 4. You need to find the midpoints first, and each of the side you're going to divide into 2 again. I just hope you get what I meant. So just find a way to divide that line into 4. So whatever you have here, whatever you do here, you're going to do on the other side as well. So now you're going to come to this very first point here, and you go up by 0.7. You mark the point like so. You ignore this middle line and you come to this last one, and you measure 0.7 downward. After that, you're going to connect all the points together from here to this upper part here. Can you make use of your free hand, and you can also make use of your curve ruler. So if you want to use your free hand, I'll suggest you make use of your pencil first. Then when you're satisfied with the line, you can now reconnect. Okay, so I'm still going to blend in all of this line. So you're just trying to create like a armhole shape. Okay, like that shape that we used to have on the sleeve. That's what I'm trying to create. Okay, so just draw the line. This is not necessary, but you can just draw it out like this. So on the other side, we are going to do the same thing, but there'll be a little bit different. So from this first point, from this fourth point, you're going to measure up to 0.7, just like you did on the first point on the front side. Okay, so you ignore this middle line and come to this very last place, this last division. You divide it into 2 again. You know we have 4 division. You divide the last one into 2, and from that point you go down by 0.5. Then you're going to connect the points together. So this one you can also make use of your free hand, or you use your curve ruler. So just like you see me doing, I'll start with a pencil. I'll suggest you do the same thing. Then after which you're done with the upper part, you're going to connect every other point together. The arm side to the elbow and the elbow to the wrist on both sides of this line. Okay, so on the wrist, you're going to take your wrist circumference measurement. You can go ahead and fold your hand like this in case you are making a fitted shirt, just for you to make sure that the sleeve will be able to, you'll be able to remove your hand conveniently. So that's how you're going to take your wrist circumference measurement, except if you are working with a stretchy fabric. So mark the point and connect back to the elbow. Then you might as well just go ahead and label your pattern. So this is the elbow line, and here is the wrist line. So with this, we are done with the pattern drafting. You can add your sewing allowance on the fabric. So if you have your curve ruler, this is how you're going to place it. You're going to place it carefully like this, making sure that you connect the points, and you're going to flip your ruler over and just arrange it carefully. Okay, so if you want to make use of your ruler, it's fine. So with this, you are done with the pattern. You can now cut it out. You can also add your sewing allowance on the pattern paper, or you add it when you want to transfer your pattern to the actual fabric, any which way ever. So you're going to add 1 inch by the side, 0.5 inch on the armhole and the hem. So here, as you can see, there's difference between the front and the back. There's a little bit of shortage or excess around that part. That is the essence of the two measurements that we used earlier. Let's move to the second one. For method 2 now, you're going to be folding your paper into 2. You're going to be using this method to create the short sleeve. You can also use it for the longer sleeve. Alright, so your pattern paper has to be on fold. So after this now, the first thing you want to do from your margin line is to take your bicep measurement. So your bicep, we already know how to get our biceps, and also to calculate our biceps, there is a particular measurement for that. After which, I'll connect with a straight line. Take your armhole measurement divided by 2 on this line. So whatever you have, you're going to divide into 2, and you're going to measure and mark. So from this point, you're going to connect back to the edge like so, to your margin line at the top. After that, you're going to divide this line into 2, and from that point you measure 0.5 inch upward. Connect the half inch like so. This is optional, but just to guide you. From here now, you're going to connect back to this point with a straight line, just like you see me doing. Then from that 0.5 again, you're going to connect back to this top edge with a curve line. So here you're going to be needing your curve ruler, and you can also make use of your free hand. So that is the back armhole. Then I'm going to label it back, because that is going to be the back armhole. For the front armhole, we are still going to be making use of that 0.5. So you're going to place your ruler like this. It has to be below the first one, that is the back armhole. You're going to connect to the base of the 0.5. So once you connect with the curved ruler like this, you flip your ruler over and you reconnect. I just hope you understand how it is. Then I'm going to label it front. After that, you're going to take your sleeve length. If it is enough for you to take the folding allowance, you measure and mark. Then after that, you come here and take your round sleeve measurement. So this is going to fall around your elbow, or some inches above your elbow. So whatever circumference you have, you divide into 2 and you mark like so. Then you connect back to the top. After this, you can now add your sewing allowance or your side seam. This is optional. I only did that because I have enough space. So you can do this directly on your fabric. And the reason why you do not need a side seam most of the time is that you might want to alter the pattern to something else. Okay, so with that, we are done with the drafting of the pattern. We can now cut it out. So I want us to pay close attention to what I'll be cutting. I'll start with the seam allowance. I'll cut off the excess. Okay, so the first thing is to cut on the back armhole. Okay, remember we have 2 armholes. So on fold like this, you are going to cut out the back. I hope you can see. Then after which you're done, you're going to open it up, and we are going to cut out the front. On the front line, on this line that we have here, you cut it out, just one side. Okay, so with this, we have been able to cut out the front and the back armhole separately. Okay, and this is what it should look like. Okay, so by the time you fold it, you're going to see that you have a bit of excess here. It is not an excess. That's how it should look like. The pattern is ready to be altered to whatsoever you want to use it for. So here is the short sleeve. I'm going to label this the short sleeve. Then I'm going to label this as the long sleeve. And with that, we have come to the end of today's tutorial. Do not forget to like this video so that YouTube can recommend it to people that might need it as well. Share to people that you feel that they will find it helpful. And do not forget to subscribe to the channel if you are yet to do so. Drop in the comment section your thoughts about this video, your video requests, or whatsoever you want me to make a tutorial upon. Thank you very much. Until we meet again in my next one. Bye bye.